Hey everyone. Today we are going to talk about air-to-air refueling in the F-14 Tomcat. The process of air-to-air refueling is fairly simple. Form up on the left of the tanker, transition to behind the tanker, hook up to the basket to get fuel. When complete, form up on the right, and when you're ready, leave formation and continue your mission. While this sounds simple, the F-14 adds a couple of fun quirks to the process. That, along with the new jet and prop wash turbulence, also wingtip vortices, can make air-to-air refueling in the F-14 a little bit more of a challenge. So let's go ahead and take a look, and I will try to point out some tips along the way. So first, we want to call the tanker and let them know that we intend to refuel. To do this, you will need to tune in to the proper radio channel, in our case, 251, then press \, F6, and F1.
Texaco, in field, 1-1, request rejoin. In field 1-1, Texaco, proceed to pre-contact at 20,000.
Then we can proceed to rejoin the tanker on the left side. This is known as the observation area. Once we form up and the refueling area is clear, we want to simultaneously drop back and slightly lower our altitude. The reason we want to drop altitude is not only for safety, but we don't want to catch ourselves in any of the jet or prop wash or wingtip vortices while we move to the refueling area. You can see here that as I come in from behind the tanker, the plane starts shaking from the prop wash, and the wings dip left and right due to wingtip vortices. You'll notice that I'm not applying any left or right roll, but only to correct when it does happen. And here, moving left to right, you can see the same type of thing happen as I move across the back of the plane. On our way to the refueling area, or once you get there, we can extend our refueling probe. The refuel probe switch is a three-way switch. Down will retract it, the middle position will extend it but only refill our fuselage tanks, and up will refuel all tanks and reset the wing external tank switch to auto. Now, depending on your loadout, weight and speed, and trim setting, you could have your maneuvering flaps extend and retract while you're trying to refuel. If this happens, you might experience a slight increase and decrease in pitch due to the change in lift generated from the maneuvering flaps. It's not a lot of change, but when you're trying to do something as precise as air-to-air refueling, it is not a desirable effect. So you can do two things. Get good, suck it up, and hand-fist it in there to get some fuel, or set the wing sweep to bomb configuration. This is how real pilots practice when they first learn to air-to-air refuel. Setting your wing sweep to bomb mode will set the wing sweep to 55 degrees or greater depending on your speed. Additionally, it will cause the maneuvering flaps to stop working, giving us a more predictable and stable flight profile. However, the second you do this, the nose will pitch down, and you will need to add quite a bit of trim and backstick to compensate, so make sure you anticipate this. You can choose to get into bomb mode before you rejoin, while you're in the observation area, or even in the refueling area. That choice is totally up to you. Okay, so now that we're in position, stable, our refueling probe is extended, we have our desired wing sweep set, and our plane is trimmed, it's time to get some fuel. If your radio menu is already open, go ahead and let the tanker know you're ready for pre-contact by pressing F1. If it isn't open, press backspace, F6, and F1.
Ready, pre-contact.
Remember, air-to-air refueling is a lot like fingertip formation flying, and as the words imply, you should really just be flying with your fingertips. Applying very light, precise pressure on the stick as you work your way in closer and closer to the basket. You will need to give continuous adjustments to the stick and the throttle. This is something that takes patience and practice. Now on the KC-130, you want to position the refueling pod just to the right of your heading carrot and keep it there all the way into the drogue. If you find yourself for any reason porpoising around or not staying lined up with the basket, simply ease off the throttle, pull away from the tanker a bit, stabilize yourself, line up, and try again. The closer you get to the basket, the more stable you need to be. And if you aren't stable, you are going to find yourself in a bad place. So take your time, and if it's not working out, just reset and try again.
Okay, cool. We're taking fuel.
Now, once you're connected, we will want to push forward a few feet just to put some slack in the line. This will begin the refueling process, and now it's just a matter of flying formation with the tanker for as long as it takes for you to get fuel. Now, one difference between refueling in, let's say, an F-18 or an F-15 is now you have someone in the backseat who can read out your fuel as you receive it.
Fuel 8,500.
This allows you to keep all your focus on flying information, and you don't need to worry about looking down at the fuel gauge.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
Fuel 9,500.
Once you are complete, simply back off the throttle a bit and slowly disconnect. Check if anybody's on your right side. If so, drop altitude to avoid them and move over to the right side of the tanker and rejoin in what is called the reform area. You will also want to retract your refueling probe when you get a chance. This is the area where you will wait for your wingman or rejoin your lead. Once you and your flight are formed up, you can break from the reform area and proceed on to your mission. That's pretty much all there is to air-to-air refueling in the Tomcat. I hope this helps you, and maybe helped you if you were struggling to tame the F-14 during refueling. As always, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.